All right, grand rising, grand arrival, grand return. Peace and blessings to the righteous and repentant alike. I'm Chief Sophia of the Americana Band of Indians, and this is Don't Miss It, your weekly news roundup where we go through the biggest news every day for the week and without comment, just giving you the headlines so that you can stay aware of what is happening, not just here but around the planet. So let's start with Monday, February the 10th. Of 2025. So Jordan loses 35,000 jobs basically from USAID, and that's Jordan, the country. All right. Kendrick Lamar confirms that the Super Bowl set was a PlayStation controller, but we got some more deeper insights on that too. I get into a fight with a Republican um, conservative over the black cultural influence and how important it is, which is makes me really upset. Trump admins to deputize IRS agents for ICE enforcement. Blue states conspire to resist enforcing birthright citizenship on November the 8th, right after the election. There's a whole memo that comes out. All right, the video emerges of the FBI pointing a gun at a baby in a crib during a J6 raid. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay. My child does something crazy and swallows a crown. Anyway, vitiligo, you have that spotting in your hand, is a hyper absorption of vitamin D, which basically is related to bone cancer. And the guy, I think Junis talks about this, so you can look that up. Women who have kids at 40 or older live longer, which is interesting. There's a viral video of a woman using a pocket, which is a little doll, to do voodoo at the Super Bowl. This goes viral. The Doge staffer is brought back, which I said I thought that was a fake firing anyway. Trump has his highest approval ever. Venezuela sending own planes to fly citizens back. Trump makes an ultimatum to Hamas to return hostages by Saturday. The CISA, which most of y'all don't know what it is, employees are placed on leave. Trump sends out invitations for a Black History Month celebration at the White House, which I don't know why that's controversial, but people thought that he wasn't. And of course, this is the most watched Super Bowl that happened on the 9th. All right, on Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025, I asked the question, did DEI co-opt Black nationalism? Because that's what it seems like happened. All right. Trump returns water standards and flow. Kendrick's Super Bowl performance matches that of Usher's. Views in one day, they were at 32 million each at the time, and it took Usher 11 months to get to 32 million, and it took Kendrick less than a day to get to 32 million views. Okay. Conservative. FEMA a CFO is fired for illegally sending funding to New York for migrants for this hotel. I think it was like $59 million. Conservative Republicans choose death over letting Black Americans have a culture. Hey, that's what their choice is. Palestinians are really from Jordan because Jordan is the one who is really upset about moving the Palestinians anywhere, so that the ones who scream the loudest are the ones who they know who they are. Okay. Duolingo kills their mascot, which is an owl, as a ongoing feud with Drake. Okay. DC judge orders gender ideology web pages, government web pages restored. All right. DC gets a crippling snowstorm. Evangelical Never Trump Coalition is also paid by USAID, which is crazy. Netanyahu terminates the ceasefire, which is, it makes his whole Knesset mad at him. All right. Most of the DC corruptions are legal. People don't need to understand. It gets in your mind. These things that they were doing is actually legal. They made them legal. Okay. Is it ethical? No. And is it fraudulent? Yes, but it's not illegal. Okay. Federal anti-Christian targeting halted, and religious freedom is protected federally. Fed chair is to take a new look at crypto. Finally, Elon shares picture of mine where Fed retirements are processed by paper, which is why it takes so long. They can only process the number of retirements based on the elevator. Okay. um, Downtown LA marches over immigration. These continue on. The Border Patrol agent a Border Patrol agent double crossed the United States and is outed. Lindsey Graham comes out against USAID. I told y'all he was looking sad, looking crazy. Bukele, which is from the president of El Salvador, says they impeach judges to get things moving. All right. And the Israeli Knesset is mad at Netanyahu for sabotaging hostage return, which I mentioned already. All right. So Wednesday, February the 12th, 2025. This is a full moon. Keep in mind. So Drake likes a video of Kai Cenat saying the NFL added crowd noises, which is patently false. Anxiety can be a part of Mercury intuition, just FYI. Bernie votes against Tulsi, which is horrific. U.S. trades crypto scammer for Mark Fogel, who was a teacher with Russia in the hostage exchange. Okay. The Trump Senate opposition down after USAID revelations. Big surprise. Pastor Jamal Bryant calls for 40-day economic fast against Target and Walmart starting on March the 3rd through the 19th of April, which is nuts. The Prime Minister and every premier out of the country in Canada. Now, later on, I'll talk about where they were. South Korea temporarily suspends sales of gold bars, which is crazy. Ayanna Pressley introduced reparations for all, a reparations bill, which is crazy. The Biden EPA hides $20 billion offshore, which has been clawed back. AG Bondi charges Hochul James in New York over migration or immigration and the immigrants, specifically the Department of Motor Vehicles was giving illegal immigrants driver's license with the star on it, which, you know, that was the whole thing to kind of solve this issue. Okay. Migrants go to Latino freeze on Walmart, Target, and McDonald's. So the migrants are now boycotting, I guess. They call it Latino freeze. Homeless mother loses 2 of her 5 children to freezing temperatures after begging for help, even from the children's father, which is... All right. Dems plan to sit back and wait for Trump failure. Great plan. 75,000 federal workers take the buyout. Reuters paid millions for large-scale... Reuters News is paid millions of dollars for large-scale social deception in the United States. Okay. Maxine Waters nervous about what Trump has on them after Doge does what it does. All right. Republicans pretend they wanted to shrink government. That was just pretending they were doing this whole time. A Tennessee security guard takes down a potential mass shooter at a club. And the website doge.gov is launched. All right, so Thursday, February the 13th, 2025, the SEC is building in a market crash to its planning. Really important. The Senate uses unanimous consent deal to pause nominations to go to Germany, which is crazy. DOJ to SCOTUS to overrule Humphrey executor separating the FCC, the FTC, and all these other little organizations out. They asked them to overrule that Humphrey executor. Okay, USAID told Zelensky he couldn't support the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which is again, the target on the Orthodox Church is like nobody's ever seen. Okay, people don't have any idea how bad it is. Egypt leads the crusade to rebuild Gaza. Trump demands Reuters return $9 million for social deception. Military aircraft crashes into San Diego Bay. Canada premiers head to negotiate with Trump. So the Canada premiers were in D.C. trying to negotiate with Trump. Where was Trudeau? Trudeau was in Germany at that council meeting, which we're going to talk about on Friday for the Friday report. For the next day, what's going on? All right. RFK is confirmed and sworn in. The Biden USDA violated federal budget SNAP rules. Putin invites Trump to Moscow for Victory Day parade. HHS spent $22 billion on illegals. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau set up tip line for employees who violate work stoppage order. USAID sent $1.7 billion to Taliban. DC searches Google for Swiss bank offshore account, wire money, IBAN, and a bunch of other criminal defense lawyer, a bunch of crazy stuff, okay? TikTok returned to the App Store, although people note that they have to create new accounts if they had downloaded the app. The New York Attorney General, the New York, not Attorney General, but the DOJ one, refuses to drop case against Adams. The New York Dems are in chaos over Adams, actually, because Adams is working with Trump and the New York Dems are literally melting down over this. All right. Ohio is trying to charge an ejaculation tax, which keep going. All right. The video of a male kayaker swallowed by a whale goes viral. The kayaker was in Chile and the whale was a humpback whale. Rubio plane returns due to crack in windshield, so it wasn't a disaster. They had a crack in the windshield, okay? Kendrick has white people researching 40 Acres and a Mule. What does that mean? Okay. Every To Catch a Predator by Chris Hansen is full of illegals, which is crazy. Fulton County judge favors railroad over black family, which is crazy. And 1/3 of Washington state's budget is federal funding. So a lot of these blue states are going to have to go along to get along because all their money is tied up with the federal government. All right, Valentine's Day, Friday, February the 14th, 2025. I advocate for a Sierra halftime show. Why can't we get a Sierra halftime show? Okay. DeSantis favors abolishing property tax. The New York governor is trying to now remove Adams, which is crazy. Planned Parenthood scrubs their IG. Drake drops an album with mixed reviews. Pope has been hospitalized for bronchitis. Boys to Men is meeting at the Capitol with Mike Johnson, which is the head of the GOP. VA fires 1,000 probational employees. Dems don't understand men or memes, which is not going to be working well for them. A Polish interpreter disrespects Hegseth, which is crazy. Vance gives a speech in Germany that makes all of Europe mad. These are people who are big mad. Ye and Bianca Cianciori, his wife, reach a $5 million verbal divorce agreement. She was a gold digger, obviously, and an FBI agent asset, more than likely. Russia releases a video of Fogel's release, which is Steeler coded. He has on a Steeler hat, very deeply coded. Trump announces reciprocal tariffs, includes VAT as tariff. And if you don't know what a VAT is, please look it up. LA County is still in limbo on rebuilding, which is crazy. The Dolphins star Tyreek Hill and Olympian Noah Lyles agreed to a fastest man on earth race, which is going to be amazing. DC searches for wipe, erase, statute of limitations is going up. Kendrick and SZA announced a Grand National Europe tour that was announced, sells out in one day. There's a DC real estate fire sale going on. The prices haven't dropped yet, but it's coming. The National Energy Dominance Council is announced. Federal funding to schools requiring COVID jab is cut off. So if they're requiring it, they are not going to get federal funding. Vance meets with Zelensky in Europe. AP loses Oval Office access for dead naming the Gulf of America. Taiwan president encourages manufacturing in America to avoid tariffs. DHS fires 400 people. Conservative influencer announces baby boy by Elon Musk. We're not going to talk about that. FTC political appointees are barred from holding positions in the ABA. The ABA is the American Bar Association, which is a highly criminal organization. And Trump gives Marine a challenge coin, which there's only 50 of them to give out, and he gives it to this Marine, which is amazing. All right, Saturday, February the 15th, an entire class of immigration judges is fired. Hurricane Helene victims in Tennessee get refund on property taxes, 130% refund. Trump demands full refund from Ukraine, which is they got to pay back all the money. Like none of this. Oh well, we don't know where it is. We didn't. No. You got to pay it all back. Okay. Trump posts, "He who says the country does not violate any law," which makes a bunch of liberals flip out. Major labels only want gang affiliated rappers, which is no surprise to anybody related to the industry. Taste in music crystallizes at the age where you believe you're the most attractive. All right. Trudeau all of a sudden is now celebrating Canadian Flag Day, which has never happened. Um, Canada assumes we will protect them because we share a border, which is a bad assumption. U.S. Army diverted $151 million meant for food, which is horrible. Zelensky asked for $250 billion, which is crazy. The New York DMV gave driver's license to illegals and won't let feds see the records. DC searches, BleachBit, wipe hard drive, and offshore bank explode. People ask Elon and Doge to audit Fort Knox, and unemployment spikes in DC. All right. So on Sunday, February the 16th, 2025, Trump attends NASCAR, which is great. He does a drive-by, and then he actually attends. SNL 50 features TV Off by Kendrick. Grok 3 is going to be released on Monday. Maddow blasted by gays for including trans in their little history, whatever. They're really pissed at her. Kentucky and Virginia are hit with crazy flooding. Frankie Muniz of Malcolm in the Middle is now a race car driver, which is so cool. I have an astrological explanation for negative numbers, like -1, also 0. Three turkeys are seen circling Harris gravestone in North Dakota. Not a good sign for Harris, okay? U.S. government to ban junk food and SNAP. I just want them to allow tallow. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. Mexico just realizes that cartels are labeled as terrorists. This has been like that for 4 weeks. They just realized. Ebola exposure is reported at a Manhattan clinic in New York. The people are from Madagascar. Mark Warner explains the TikTok ban has to do with Gaza, like everybody was saying. Holocaust conducted with free speech zones, not gas chambers. This is what they're now saying on the news. Taliban to accept Afghans from Germany in exchange for consular services. There's something called a Simintron. Sounds like the Congos from a go-go band. That's an Orthodox thing, which I was like, wow, that sounds like go-go Congos. All right. Thousands are fired from health agencies in D.C. The DOJ asked public to help DOT, Department of Transportation, asked public to help upgrade its systems, like input from the public. The NFL walks back its support for Kendrick, big mistake. Drake album is underperforming, and Garrett Morris, who was 88, was celebrated at the SNL 50. He was also the first black person on SNL. So this has been your news wrap up from February the 10th, 2025 to February the 16th, 2025. Be on the lookout for our longer format podcast. The link is going to be in the description for that, or on the Clock app in the link tree. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace and blessings, and we'll see you in the next video.